Hello everyone. In this screencast, we're going to look at letters that address complaints. But before we begin, I want to point out something. When you go into Word and you open a Word document, your computer is set up for Hebrew. In other words, it's going to go from right to left. That's how it will organize and code the text. When you want to type in English, there are all kinds of ways to play around with moving the text, but the easiest way is simply to immediately click on this button, which changes it from going to left to right. That way, the text and all the punctuation will be on the right side of the page. Okay. So let's take a look at a few of the letters. So if we look at sample 1, and let's just take a look at what we've got here. We've got a pretty good inside addresses, the store, but dear Mr. Wave, now we need the full name. What we need here is Mr. Mike Wave. The dear part comes down here. So this is what we want. So we begin our letter, and already we start to read, and most people will read quickly, and the first thing that will strike them is some confusion. The first sentence talks about wristwatches, then it talks about clocks, and then it goes back to wristwatches. Now I know that in Hebrew it's the same word, sha'on, but in English we have two different words, and we have to use the correct word. Otherwise, it's very, very confusing for the recipient. The other thing is filling your order that you bought from our store. Filling an order is when you make an order, which is a distance. You've done it online, maybe you've called, but usually if you go into a store, you're talking about a purchase and not an order. So that was a little bit confusing in the beginning. Then we have the next paragraph, and basically what I've done here is to color code the different topics that are in this one paragraph. Now we know in a paragraph we want to stick to one topic. So the red here basically talks about the event, what happened. Okay. Then we have the green, which I've marked as keeping the customer satisfied. And then the solution, which is here, we appreciate your cooperation with us and would like to replace your 25 wristwatches with a waterproof model as you want, but okay, you're agreeing, you're basically saying we accept your complaint, that's okay, but there's nothing here that tells exactly what you're going to do. What do you want the recipient of the letter to actually do? What is the store going to do? Okay, we've accepted it. Now what? So, do you want the customer to come into the store? Are you going to send do you want him to send them back and you'll resend? In other words, you need to give them clear instructions of how to proceed. And yes, it's important to include information that keeps the customer, but we need to put that at the end, similar to what is down here. So let's just summarize. It's vocabulary that confuses. Are we talking about an order or a purchase? Are we talking about a wristwatch or a clock? And we need to keep the information clear and logically organized, following in a way that doesn't jump around. And we need to tell the recipient what exactly is the next step. So we're missing the call for action. And we want to keep that information that's going to keep the customer satisfied together and not interspersed and mixed up in one paragraph. Let's go on and look at another example. We don't need the name of the person. That's in the signature, so we can just leave that out. Again, always begin with a capital letter. And here we, again, the topic and the what we're talking about is always in our opening. Please accept our apologies for the error made by our watch company in filling your purchase of 25 waterproof wristwatches, model dated, whatever. So basically what we've got is the topic, the purpose, and we already see from the first sentence that the store is accepting the writer's complaint. And then again here, what do we have? We've got a beginning. It explains the event. We investigated the situation and unfortunately found out that the batteries in these specific models were damaged. That's the reason your watch stopped working, although it was really waterproof. Okay, this is very good. But now we're talking about the solution, and you want the recipient to easily see that. So let's put that in another paragraph. So we've got now the problem and what the store did, and now the solution. The watch company solved the battery failure and sent a successful model by express courier this morning, so you can exchange or refund all your damaged watches tomorrow. Okay, so, but again, how do you do that? How do you do that? We do that by telling them, please come to our store and meet with Mr. Smith. And again here, this is part of keeping our customer satisfied. So this is really part of this. And here we can again see an issue where we clearly have our topic, our opening, the problem, the solution, polite close, and keeping our customers satisfied. So again, our issues, we need to keep the customers satisfied. We need to make sure that the recipient knows exactly what needs to do. Please come to our store and meet with Mr. Smith. Let's take a look at another sample writing. And here we have we're missing the sender's address. We need to know who it's from. So, dear Mr. Wave, thank you for your letter of Wednesday, November 29th, regarding the 25 wristwatches you purchased. I would like to personally apologize for your inconvenience. So yes, we have some grammatical mistakes here, but that's okay. It really doesn't interfere with the meaning of the sentence and the meaning of the paragraph, which includes the topic, the purpose, the background, and the acceptance of the error of the complaint. And here we have the issue. We investigated the situation. And here we need another sentence with the company's supplier and concluded that the said wristwatch is indeed not waterproof despite being told otherwise before. It needs another sentence, perhaps in the beginning, to recap, re-explain what the problem was, or perhaps here. And here again, as a gesture of our regret, we would like to offer you a full exchange, no extra charge, for all 25 wristwatches for a better new model, which I assure you is waterproof up to 100 meters deep. In other words, this is good information because it relates directly to the customer who is a diver. Instructions regarding the exchange have been sent to the store manager and the staff is awaiting your arrival. Now, we don't know when these new models are coming in. So here what I suggest, we will call you when the new watches arrive. And that way you're taking that, okay, do I have to call them? Do they have to call me? What's going on? Away from the recipient. And here we have, again, a very nice, polite close with its intention to keep the customer satisfied. So here we have 3 examples. Each has some very, very good things about them. And from each we can learn so that when we write our own letter addressing a complaint, we can make it very, very good.